Nation. Let's ride. Yeehaw. The Patriots have rode down to Denver.
Save me.
Thank goodness I didn't fall, but the New England Patriots have just took these little Denver ponies into shape, and now we're going to fly to Santa Clara for the Super Bowl against the Seattle Seahawks in a rematch. But a lot has happened in that game. We will get into it. And by the way, after that intro, we will bring in Eric. He's going to be in there for like a little bit. But nevertheless, it was a gruesome game. It was a blizzard all to hell. It was definitely a blizzard. I'm like, when was the last time we even had a snowball in the AFC East, in the AFC Championship, boys? But as always, I am the captain of the ship, Dow, aka DTN. And obviously, I got Andy and Thomas with me. Austin, unfortunately, has connection issues. And we will also invite Eric to get his insight on the game itself at Mile High, since he is located in Colorado. So I want to ask you, Andy, how was that win against those Denver Ponies, as I like to call them?
Broncos.
Yeah, it was. That was one of the weirdest games I'd seen in a while. I thought the Chargers game played out a little bit like Super Bowl 53. Yeah, I'm not going to say yesterday's game played out like Super Bowl 53 because the Broncos got that touchdown on their second drive, and I was like, oh, crap. Stidham just drove right down the field on us. Our defense can't do anything. And it's like, oh, geez, news flash. Our defense is kind of shat in the first quarter all year. And then, especially in the second half, we made adjustments. We had the strip sack in the second quarter, which was key. There were a couple of questionable decisions by Sean Payton, which I'm sure we'll talk about later. But I actually saw kind of, the whole coach shitting the bed thing was a factor when the Pats were good before, and you'd see these good coaches just like trip up on the field, often in a big game. And we did see that yesterday with Sean Payton on that attempted fourth down conversion. But yeah, I mean, 10-3 win, couple of clutch defensive plays.
10-7.
10-7. May had a couple of really nice runs, including right at the end of the second quarter. And yeah, that's that. And we are on to Seattle in 2 weeks for a rematch of Super Bowl 49.
Not long after we won, and after Seattle beat the Rams due to some questionable moments in that Seattle Rams game, and I thought the Seattles would nearly lose that game after that Woolen taunting penalty after tackling Puka Nacua. I thought that was stupid on Woolen's end, but I want to ask you, Thomas, I know you were skeptic in this game, but from your perspective, what were your thoughts in that game?
Oh, boy. I'm not going to put this. This is probably the lowest score games I've ever seen, honestly. And how to describe it? Ugly as fuck. And yes, not to mention Denver starters. Denver scored first with Jarrett Stidham, and everyone's like, "Oh, Jarrett Stidham's not that good. Oh, he's gonna be bad. No. If you have not watched Jarrett Stidham, if you don't know who the fuck Jarrett Stidham is, wake the fuck up and look at the film, because dude, Stidham, and I'm gonna say this, Stidham just outplayed Drake May. That's gonna be hard to believe here, because he had more passing yards than Drake. Yet, like he made a touchdown pass as a starting quarterback in an AFC Championship game. Yes, I get that here. And then shit hits the fan here with that touchdown after that is like when I believe that was after when Stidham made the backwards pass, which people say that was not a backwards pass because it looked like it's a forward. It's don't know. I don't know. I can't see on my point of view if it's a backwards pass or a forwards pass, but the refs said it. Did the refs say that's a backwards pass, or was that?
Are you talking about that fumble?
No, it was more like a backwards pass that became a fumble.
Yeah. I don't know what it was.
Because it was originally called intentional grounding, which I don't know about that call. He was nowhere near the pocket in the first place.
It was not intentional grounding, but it was a fumble. But it should have been a touchdown afterwards from Ponder. But yeah. I think what I read was the referee blow the whistle way too early, which I think that was one of the dumbest moves by that ref. And by the way, that was one of the most boring. I want to say this is not one of the best, but not the worst officiating games. But it was so confusing. I don't know what
it's more like the least penalized championship game I've ever fucking seen. But it's a disgusting game to say the least because both offenses did not show up because again it's the defensive show, and we're definitely talking about the defense when we get to that standpoint here. And yes, Drake May, no turnovers, which is great news, but he got like 130 plus passing yards, yes, and he got the Pats' only rushing TD in this game. And well, the only reason we won this is yes, we got that field goal, but the kicking is just bad. And it's not the kicker's fault. It's the fucking weather. What do you expect? Like, who would have thought it would snow in Denver in the fourth fucking quarter? Not me. If the snow would have not been a factor, if the altitude or if the freaking snow's not a factor to this, then Denver would have tied this game. We could have go to OT.
Yeah, it was one of those chaotic games, and I'm telling you, like, this weekend has been chaotic with weather because imagine if we hosted the game in Gillette Stadium, it would have been worse because
that would have been fucking worse.
I don't think we could have played at Gillette Stadium. That would have been not so cuckoo.
Yeah, it would have been the snowball of the century because I'm looking outside right now. If you look outside right now, I know that there's like a reflection on my end. It's fucking brutal from where we are right now.
Oh, believe me, it's 12 to 18 inches of snow. It was from Sunday night when I finished watching the game to today. It's 12 to 18 inches, and I had to dig the snow off the damn steps, off the bottom of the stairs, and I have one of my neighbors have to plow the damn snow away. Like, and you see, and you would have looked at my front door at this point right now. The snow almost covered the fucking staircase.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And I looked it up. Drake May actually only had 86 passing yards. 86. 65 rushing yards. So not a lot of yardage from Drake May yesterday, although, like I said, a couple of those runs were pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's not a good offensive showing for the Patriots against a top 3 defense out of Denver. Like, again, 3 of our damn playoff games is against top 5 defenses in the damn conference/league.
And we're going up against another one in the Seattle defense. Not similar to the Legion of Boom, but I would categorize that as the modern of Boom. I wouldn't compare the Seattle defense to the legendary lead of Boom, but let's not keep our guests waiting. But before we do that, please make sure as you come in, boys and girls, please make sure that you hit the thumbs up button as you're coming in, and make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. It's the best way to help us support the channel, and you can do so further by joining this QR code where you're joining the Patriots Clubhouse Discord. And also share this with all of your friends. Turn on the bell notifications for future episodes. At the end of the MayeFlower Voyage series, which I think it's going to end after the Super Bowl, we will transition into the Patriots Draft Hub. So it's not just going to be your usual panelists here. We're bringing in a couple of experts who are draft nerds, I would say. And for some reason throughout the process, I love mocking drafts. We're going to add a lot of players to this defense, to the offense, and to the team. And obviously we're going to look into free agency. We'll talk about free agency as time goes on, but oh God. Thomas is already prepared, I can tell. But without further ado, let's bring in the man of the hour, because I think he's been waiting for way too long already. And, let's ask the Colorado man himself, which is currently 6:17 Mountain Time. So let's bring him in. Mr. Eric, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good, guys. How about you?
Can't complain. How are you
We're doing fine.
Yeah, man, I'm great. I'm really great. I mean, like you guys said, it was an ugly game. It wasn't the most fun freezing out there watching, but getting the win and seeing the players celebrate, seeing the fans celebrate with one another after it made going so worth it.
So I want to ask you, Eric. So obviously, like, a few of us only got to see the game through television or through YouTube. But from your perspective, Eric, what was the experience like when there was like tens of thousands of Broncos fans?
Well, I'll give it to Broncos fans, man. They threw their full support behind Jarrett Stidham. I don't think a lot of fan bases, including ours, if Dobbs was in, like, we would have just hung up our cleats. You know what I'm saying? But they came out, they were making music videos, they were chanting his name after that first touchdown. Like, they went all in with that guy. Now I think they're kind of regretting that after what happened, but you can't blame him. He's a backup quarterback for a reason. He played well. To some extent, definitely in the passing game, he outplayed Maye. But Maye got him on with his legs. It was his legs that won us the game. And then the weather coming in. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Mike Vrabel knew the weather was coming in just by the way the game plan was going, because I looked at the forecast before I went, and I knew around the third quarter it was going to really start snowing. So I think they were trying to protect Maye a little bit. I wish the offensive game plan was a little more aggressive, but I understand because of all these top defenses we've been playing. So they protected Maye a little bit. They got the points when they needed to get the points, and then the weather came in, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, it's not going to be one of those easy games, especially when Denver has like a lot of coaches who are going to be looking for like head coaching jobs and coordinator jobs, like for the likes of Vance Joseph, Jim Leonard, and also Davis Webb into the mix. So like they're like fighting for their jobs. So basically to get other coaches who are currently sitting in their couches being like, oh, we need to look into this guy to hire as our defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, or as head coach. And basically this was both offensive game plans were like crap of itself, but I give props to the defensive plans. Like no one anticipated I anticipated a defensive showing, but I did not anticipate that kind of showing in that kind of weather with this amount of support from fans. Because if you're like, for example, if you're like going, bless you.
Thank you.
If you're like going to Highmark Stadium, obviously Bills Mafia would be like going haywire. But if you're in Denver, and I know you currently reside in Colorado, not like closer to Denver, but yeah, it's kind of wild, and it's actually unbelievable. The fact that the first 3 quarters, Eric, it was like clear skies, and nothing happened up until like towards the end of the third quarter, heading into the fourth quarter. It was like snowing and a lot of flurries.
Yeah, it came in quick. It was probably a 10-minute period. I started seeing the snowfall. I'm like, all right, it's coming. And then 10 minutes later, like the field was already white. They had the snow blowers out there blowing just so we could see the lines and everything. So at that point in time, we were already up, I think, 10-3, or I think we might have made one field goal later when the snow was there. But
They got the touchdown first. They scored first, so it would have been 10-7 or 7-7.
okay, yeah, 10-7. Sorry, I said 10-3. Yep, 10-7. So when we got that 10-point or the field goal to go up 10-7, I felt like we were going to need maybe another field goal or two to put these guys away, and we definitely had those opportunities. But the weather was just too much. We missed the field goal, that second field goal that would have put us up 16-7. But I really didn't think 10 points was going to be able to get this win. Stidham was just doing too good, but what really won us the game is our rush defense. I know if we can make Broncos throw the ball, put the game in Stidham's hands, it was going to be tough for them to come back from behind. Still thought we were going to need more than 10 points, but I think the weather came in clutch there late.
Yeah, if obviously neither of us are meteorologists or like none of us are like weathermen, but like I can tell that there was horrible. I don't know how to describe it, but basically our vision was that bad in that weather. Like, granted that it was that windy, but what is it, Thomas?
I was about to say like that. I was about to say like, yes, we're not weathermen, but I do. But my brother and I have been watching the weather every freaking day here, and I never seen this much snow in a game in my life here. And it's poor visibility that is just not good for not good for the quarterbacks at this point. Not good for the other players, and especially not good for the kickers because like. How many fucking missed kicks did we see in this game? Besides Borgales' 63 yards, he's not going to make it anyway.
4. 4.
Yeah, that is.
Wait, I thought it was 3. It was 4, really?
Lutz missed a kick earlier in the game.
Right.
And then we had the block kick, and then Andy missed the 60-yarder, and then he missed a closer one when the snow was there.
60 and the 45. Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
So it was 4. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it was the last minute. It was the last chance to get ourselves a field goal before the first half ends. But
yeah, the visibility is just bad. Really?
Yeah, that was the word I was
really,
looking for.
really bad. Like,
yeah, the visibility was that bad because everybody thought like kicking a field goal is easy with all of that weather. But
no, not even the snow, the visibility, the altitude, because it's in fucking Denver. Like, I mean, like honestly, like that game. That's the reason why this game is like ugly. Why this game is just disgusting. But yes, we did win the game, but there are some consequences to it.
Yep, there were a lot of consequences, and the fact that with that bad of visibility, it was like I couldn't tell if like the coaches were even prepared for this. I don't know if like Mike Vrabel nor Sean Payton were like preparing for like all these weather conditions. Like I knew that it would snow at some point, and I knew that we would be playing at a high altitude, but I was not prepared for the snowball. And I don't know, boys, if you would categorize this as a snowball, or would you consider, boys, as the best snowball, or would you categorize the old snowball from 24 years? And I know I wasn't born during that time, so what are your thoughts?
Most likely, I don't count this the best snow game we play here. I still think it's the 2001 divisional playoff game against the
Ag-
Raiders.
Agreed. Yeah, that was just, I mean, that's a game Raider fans still kvetch about. I mean, like, okay,
Yep.
by those rules, he was getting his arm back to pass it forward. No, Charles Woodson, you did not have a strip sack. You lost. Get over it.
But I'm not sure how many snow games New England played. I believe there's one we played. I think Tennessee would be blew about 59 to nothing.
59-0, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
But this game, that 10-7 win against the Broncos in the fourth quarter in the snow, that's just beyond ugly. That's
And then there
beyond-
was that one time we played, it was back in 2015 in Denver, and it turned out to be a snow game, and that's where that was the Brock Osweiler breakout. That was a beaut.
Oh God, Brock Osweiler.
Mhm.
I fucking remember that name. I think he's not a college football analyst now.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, and
But-
Eric, I wanted to ask you this because I heard it all over the radio this morning.
Yep.
That Sean Payton set the course of that game by going for it on fourth down, and obviously it was a TO on downs. Like, do you believe that? Do you believe like that was like a really dumbass move by a head coach that in the end it cost the Broncos the game, obviously, although missed field goals did too. But what are your thoughts on Sean Payton after that game?
I was in the stands and I was saying go for it. We had not been able
Some
to stop
people
them.
were.
We haven't been able to stop them. Our offense wasn't moving the ball. And I look at it this way. Take everything else, what happened in the game, if it happened exactly the same way. In that play, they got the fourth down conversion and scored a touchdown. They win the game. They won the game. We were not going to come back from 14 points down.
Oh, no, not a snowball's chance in hell. In fact, I was afraid. It's like, oh crap, they score. Yeah, a lot of. We've been down 7-0 a lot, but yeah, that defense that close to the end zone.
Yep.
4th and 1. That's. I mean, Bertrand was talking as if, he didn't mention it, but he was talking about it was as if it was, Pete Carroll's stupid passing from the 1 yard line when you got Marshawn Lynch in the backfield. I don't think it was that dumb. I mean, it was,
Nope.
And the game was still young. And like you said, if you make that conversion, there's no doubt they're going up 14-0 or at least, no, fourth down, kick the field goal and go up 10-0. Even that, I didn't see us coming back from.
We had 20 yards passing in the first half. I was staring at the scoreboard. We had 20 yards passing in the first half. They score 14 points. They get that fourth down, and everything else happens the exact same way.
Then it's a touchdown, and they're up 14-0, and that's game.
And the Broncos win, and everyone's praising the fourth down call. That's why I hate the narrative that is being driven right now for Sean Payton. It was absolutely the right call to go for it on fourth down, in my opinion.
Okay. From a Pats fan. All right. Thank you.
I am very non-biased.
Then again, there were
I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you at this point. Like, if it's 4th and short, you have every you may like to just go for the points. Like, if it's 4th and short, if it's like 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, you have every right to go for it. Like, I don't care if it's a dumb call, if it's a right call. What Sean Payton did, it's like. Not as a Pats fan, as a football guy myself, if it's 4th and short, then yeah, go for it. Like, if it, like, I mean, I know, like, most people say it's a dumbass call, like, if it's like that, but realistically here, if it's like 4th and short, if it's like somewhere at the, like, where was that spot where they had that turnover, like that beyond the 20?
Somewhere like in
Yeah,
the
it was
50
like
yard line.
25, 30-yard line on our side for that fourth down conversion, I think.
Yeah, if it's a 50-50 decision. Like, you could go for a field goal just to get the points. But, like, I mean, again, it's 50-50. I'm not saying it's a dumbass call. Like, I know people have it. People say it's a dumbass call. From the narrative standpoint, but it's not a dumbass call. Like, if you have a reason why you want to go for it on 4th and 1, then yeah. I mean,
And if they're upset about throwing the ball, I can't remember if it was a pass or a run. Like, I understand it being a pass because they were not running on us. And I said this going into the game to Denver fans at the tailgate. I'm like, when Milton Williams is in, we have the best rush defense in the league. You will not
Yep.
run on us. And
Yep.
they didn't. They didn't.
Oh,
It
he
was
could. When we start
for it.
analyzing the Super Bowl, I don't doubt with Charbonnet still injured that that K9 is going to have a bitch on his hands with Milton Williams.
So I have thoughts on that, but I got to run back to my class. Whenever you guys do a Super Bowl preview or whatever, I would love to come on because I think we match up extremely well against the Seahawks. I wanted the Seahawks. I did
Okay.
not want LA.
No, I did not either. And I mean, yeah, and there were three answers: Stafford, Nakua, Devontae Adams.
And all the
You could
Seahawks
add in a
have is
fourth with Kyron
Walker.
Williams.
And all the Seahawks have is Walker, and our D-line will handle him, and then just put Gonzo and Man on JSN the whole game.
And then
Yep,
Davis
and
on
I don't care if there's 4.5-point favorites. Sam Darnold, the Seeing Ghosts game was a while ago, but I said this in the comments last night. People have paid time and again this season for shorting Mike Vrabel. Like that guy is no joke. I mean, there is a reason I wanted him. There was a reason Tennessee was stupid as fuck to let him go.
They were stupid. There is a reason why there's debates if she is one of the worst owners, or if it's Pagula, or if it's Jerry Jones, or if it's Woody Johnson. But we can debate on it. So, Eric, if your class ends before we get off, that maybe you can still have a little bit of time to get into your winners and losers if possible.
Yeah. My class should be ending here in the next 30 minutes. So if you guys are still on, I'll jump back on.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Go Pats.
Yeah, go Pats.
I feel bad for Eric, the fact that he still has class. Well, I'm unfortunately lucky that I have a snow day, but it's been brutal with the snow. And going back to the topic on snow, what would have happened if regardless of the weather, Drake May did not have a great game regardless.
Nope.
He had 10 out of 21 passes. I'm like, I get it that there were no picks or turnovers, but still, there were a couple of passes to Booty that were completely unacceptable. I couldn't tell, Andy, if May was being frantic or not, but there were some passes that I felt like they were completely unacceptable.
Yeah, I saw that one where Booty was wearing Pat Surtain, and I know some of us in the chat were like, okay, at least he's, trying to bait Surtain. We didn't get picked off. We can talk about the turnover margin a little bit. But yeah, I wanted to see some targeting of Randy Moss, which obviously did not happen, and that was a smart move by Sean Payton not really allowing us to target Riley Moss, because I think he knows that he draws a lot of fouls and whatnot. And to play Pat Surtain as often as you can. Surtain played quite well, but Yeah, there were a couple of throws. It's like, okay, what are you seeing there, Drake? The guy is completely covered, and I think maybe on that first booty play. I think was it Diggs was wide open,
I think
and
Diggs was wide open, and I know that there was a Hunter Henry catch that should have been a catch, but unfortunately got dropped.
he dropped it. Yeah, but I think it was that first booty play where Diggs was wide open and May just didn't switch reads. And it's like, okay, why did you make that risky throw? Yeah, you weren't picked, and you're lucky it went out of bounds. Yeah, that's not a throw. That's not a throw I want to get. I want to see against Seattle and Devin Witherspoon and yeah. Don't make that mistake again, Meg.
Yeah, unlike Vance Joseph's defense, Mike McDonald's defense uses a lot of coverage. So yes, they don't have. I think the offensive line would have a better time going up against these D linemen, but they will not have a good time against that secondary. They will not. I'm telling you, like when you go up against Witherspoon, when you're going up against Woolen, when you're going up against Nick Emanuori or Julian Love, this is going to be it's going. Drake May needs to do a better job of like reading defenses or like reading coverages because I'm looking at some of like the stats right now for Kayshon Boutte, and he was targeted 6 times and only caught 1 ball. There were a couple of balls that maybe Boutte should have catch or maybe make these throws, or make these catches, but Drake May had these underthrow passes that like they were completely unacceptable, Thomas. Like I just didn't get it. I was watching it from sea to shiny sea with better protection. There was a lot of mistakes. I don't know if he was playing frantic.
Sorry, what is it again here?
Nothing. I was gonna say like Drake May, he was playing frantic and he didn't make these. And also, Kayshon Boutte should have made these necessary catches, but it was all because of Drake May's hospital passes and some of these underthrow or overthrow passes.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you there, but at the same time, it's also the fact that he got pressure a lot by the Denver defense. Like, this is the Seattle defense is no joke. But other besides of their offense, which consists of Jackson Smith-Njigba, which I think he's going to be a clear-cut candidate to be Offensive Player of the Year at this point, the way he's been playing. But and Sam Darnold, because nobody gives the guy the credit, Sam Darnold. Like, and here's a crazy fact: he's the first quarterback out of the 2018 draft class. Yes, that's Josh Allen's draft class to make it to the Super Bowl.
That is true, unfortunately. And the only reason Sam Darnold's that good is huge credit to Clint Kubiak. If it wasn't for him joining the San Francisco 49ers, and there is a reason why there's connection with the Kubiaks and the Shanahans with Sam Darnold, I think Sam Darnold fits perfectly in that West Coast offense created by Kubiak and Shanahan. There's a reason for that, but we will save some of that for that Seattle.
But back to the defensive side of things. The Seattle defense is no fucking joke. I have watched some of the Seattle games this season. I watched some highlights. Dude, the way the Seattle defense operates, dude, this is the reason why our offense needs to freaking operate. Why Drake May should not throw hospital balls. Why the offense line should protect them at this point here. The Seattle defense is fucking scary. Like, no, yes, it's not the same defense as like the Legion of Boom when we face them at Seattle. I mean, that Super Bowl 49. This is the 2025, 2026. I mean, this is the 2025 Seattle Seahawks. Their defense is no fucking joke. And it's nothing to sneeze at here. Like, this team cannot take it lightly at all. if we wanted to get an inch to Lombardi, which I mean, if we want to get an inch to, if we want to win this game, we need to watch out for that defense. That defense scares the shit out of me. Like, they need to be smart on offense. Drake May should not throw hospital balls like he did against the Broncos. And hell, the offensive line better protect him here. Run protection and protect Drake May. Like what Will Campbell said at the draft. Because if they don't do these things, we're gonna have a very long game against the Seahawks defense.
We will. But Jonathan makes an interesting point right here. He says, I think Drake May just didn't want to throw deep in the wind and maybe get it picked because he knew turnovers would probably determine the game. That could be a possibility. Even if it wasn't snowing, yes, it was windy and high altitude, so I would assume that they would probably the same game plan that happened back in 2021 on Monday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills at Buffalo, when basically it was that windy with high gusts, and basically they were using a lot of Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson. I don't know if you remember that game. Would you compare?
Yep.
What?
I do. I remember that game well here. I was complaining, throw the fucking ball. And when I look at the reason why, I was like, yep, run the damn ball. Run it more. Because we cannot risk throwing the damn ball if it's like wicked windy out there. It's like 20 miles per hour winds that can easily push a freaking football around.
Yeah. And also, when we ran the ball, we did an okay job, but there were moments, Andy, like, even though it was snowing, there were moments when Ramondre Stevenson was slipping. And I still remember that one play where it was meant to be a play action. Ramondre slipped, and basically Drake May got sacked. What were your thoughts on, like, the slipperiness from, like, these?
It's not their fault. It's not their fault.
Sorry, go ahead, Joe. Say that again. I just had another Mondre thought pop into my head. Sorry, say that again.
It has to do something with the slipperiness on the field. I did not know if the Broncos stadium had turf or grass, because I would assume it was grass, and I think it was a bit slippery for the running back.
I think it was grass, because I don't think...
Yeah, I think it's grass. There was that one play, it was near the goal line, and I think it was like the second failed field goal kick, so it was from like 45 yards, where Mondre lost the ball and then like fell right back on it. That was a freaky play. I don't remember him slipping. He actually might have fallen on the ball because he slipped on that play, so that the field saved him on that one. But yeah, I mean, slipperiness is going to be a problem for any player, especially if you're a defender or a running back, or a quarterback trying to run the ball. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was. I didn't see it being a massive factor in yesterday's game.
Yeah, I didn't either. Even it was that bad. It was bad of a weather, but nevertheless, even for bad weather, before we get over to the defense, I want to discuss this one particular quote from a movie scene from the movie Warriors. I've never watched that movie. I heard it was like a rated R movie, and from what I remember, they were using a lot of this quote from the Warriors.
Yeah.
From Mac
Hollins.
And even the post-game recap, I heard this quote.
They showed it on Good Morning Football. I was like, what the actual fuck? Like, is he crazy? Like, really? Carry on, Dow.
Yeah, and but it did make sense in the sense that they were road warriors, because the Patriots did something in I wouldn't say NFL history, but I would say franchise history. I don't know exactly that they went 9-0 on the road.
I don't think any other team has done that. Let me quick look it up.
No, I'll look it up. Has
Yeah,
any
you guys go ahead.
NFL team won?
I think that might have been a first.
What the heck? That's not what I wanted. I want on the road. Oh, I think I know why. Because, frick, it's Yahoo. Goodness sakes. Why does it have to be Yahoo? Give me a second, guys. Don't worry. I got taken care of. No NFL team has finished a season undefeated on the road while playing exactly 9 road games. And the Patriots finally did that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
While the 2024 Lions, the 2020 Chiefs, or as I want to call them, the Cheats, and the 1972 Dolphins finished perfect on the road. None of them reach a 9-0 road record. And the Patriots did that. There is a reason why the word Warriors came into play, Andy.
And obviously the 07 Patriots, but that team played at home throughout the playoffs.
Yep, and they were the number 1 seed. The Patriots this year were the number 2 seed. So it is what it is. But how does it feel, though, that we are that good on the road, Thomas?
It's surreal, honestly. Never thought we would be 9-0 on the road this season. Even though that we went to Buffalo, which it is one of the toughest road games we play. Then freaking another toughest road game by far is Tampa Bay. Like, even though they don't have who are they? Godwin.
Mike, was it Mike yet? Godwin or Evans?
Godwin.
I think Evans played that game.
Godwin.
And Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving was out that game.
No Bucky, yes. But still, the Bucks are still a wicked tough team because they're a playoff team that we faced them. What other road game?
Baltimore.
Miami.
Baltimore by far, yes. Then Miami, yes. Miami, we cannot, but because there's a history because we cannot fucking win at Miami until week 2. So,
and not to mention Cincinnati.
Ugh, Cincy with Joe Flacco. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. That game that nearly got away.
I know. Like, these road games, like, it's near close wins. Some of the road games, it's just a slobber knocker. What Jim Ross says. If you don't know what Jim Ross is, he's a commentator for wrestling. So yeah.
Interesting.
But there's another stat that I want to share. I just found this yesterday. The teams made the Super Bowl after playing 3 playoff games, allowing 26 or fewer total points. The one team besides us has 26 or fewer points allowed. The 2000 Baltimore Ravens.
Not even the Legion of Boom nor the No-Fly Zone can manage to do that.
Yep, and we only know who in that 2000 Baltimore Ravens team who's been involved there and went to the Super Bowl there. The Hall of Fame itself, Ray Lewis.
So no Ed Reed, no Terrell Suggs. Because I think they were.
I can't remember if it was Suggs. I don't remember Suggs or fucking Reed was in that 2000 team. All I know it's Lewis.
So not even the Wade Phillips defenses with Broncos and the Rams or the Texans managed to do that. And not even the Legion of Boom.
They have not allowed the teams who made to the Super Bowl after playing 3 playoff games. 3.
That's impressive.
It's
But
us and the 2000 Baltimore Ravens.
we will get to the defense, but I want to quickly read some comments from you guys. And by the way, if you haven't already, please make sure that you hit the thumbs up button and click the subscribe. We at least are up to 122 subscribers, so that's some progress. But it would be appreciated if you continue hitting the subscribe button. If you continue to click the like button, that would be really appreciated, just to get the algorithm on YouTube to spread the word. But yeah. And by the way, going back to the theme of Road Warriors, I want to read some of your comments. So Nelson says the Patriots are going to treat the Super Bowl like another road game, especially when it's at Santa Clara. The thing that's Santa Clara is that Seattle does have an advantage because they've been playing at Santa Clara every single year, so they know what it feels like to play at Santa Clara. So will that be a disadvantage, Andy, technically, since Seattle has been winning games at Santa Clara?
Yeah, I think that the combination of being on the West Coast and being on the West Coast and B playing at that stadium twice a year, Seattle would have something of a structural advantage. I know that's not exactly the right term, but they know the field inside and out. They're obviously not playing the 49ers, but it is a place that they know quite well, and an overall climate that they know quite well. Whereas the Pats are going to have to come from snowy, cold Massachusetts and then maybe, who knows, sunny, warm Santa Clara County.
Where young Drake may witness his favorite team getting demolished by the Broncos.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I was rooting for the damn Panthers to win that Super Bowl also because, honestly, I don't root for the team who we just lost to.
And also, I don't root for Manning.
But Manning's fine, but I don't root for a team that we just lost.
Yeah, I understand. Like, we lost to
and we had lost to Denver that year in the championship game. Ugh.
By 2 points.
Yup.
And we lost Edelman and Gronk. I remember that game. Looking back at the history of, like, going up against Denver, it's like, what is with us losing in Denver in the championships up until that year? Like, I don't get it. Like, we could never.
I think some of it, like, people have talked about the altitude for years. I think that might be a part of it.
Yep. It has to start with the
altitude. We're
part of it.
Like, even Belichick and Brady were jinxed there. Plus the environment. I mean, you heard whenever the Broncos had the ball how loud that crowd was. I'm sure Eric, being there, could attest to that too. But yeah, oh boy, it was a fluky game, but hey, went in, got it done. People doubting Vrabel again, looking like idiots. A good day to be a Pats fan.
Yeah, and after these games, people are moving the goalpost, but I would say we'll get to that. We'll get to that later at the end. But let's get on to this defense. And speaking of that defense that you mentioned, you said that we allowed the fewest points, 20. So that's like, if I do the math, that's like almost 9 average. Like
8-6, 8-7, yeah.
So like we allowed 3 in that Chargers game, 16 in that Texans game, 7 in the Broncos game.
Yeah.
While the Seattle Seahawks allowed 27 points in their AFC Championship against the Rams, against the number 1 offense.
And how much? I think even when they blew out the Niners a week ago, they gave up 10 or 13 points.
They actually gave up 6.
6. They gave up 6.
It was only 6? Wow.
It was just 6 because the Seahawks dominated the Niners at that game.
We know the Niners were depleted except for Christian McCaffrey, but
the game was over for the first half immediately after that kick return touchdown from Shaheed. That's the one guy I'm worried about the most when it comes to special teams.
Somebody did say, though, I mean, that the Hawks have struggled against mobile quarterbacks, and obviously they'll be facing one in May.
Well, I had to see to believe here at this point, so...
Yeah, I just feel like the fact that no one talks about our defense because you know all these outsiders who are not involved in New England or not even Patriots fans, they know nothing about our Patriots defense. Like everybody talks about the Chargers defense being the top dogs, the Texas defense number 1, and then number 2 being the Denver's defense. No one talks about the Patriots defense. Like the Patriots defense forced more turnovers than that Denver defense. That's kind of embarrassing when you think about. That's kind of embarrassing after last week when the Denver defense forced 5 turnovers on Josh, turned the ball over Allen. As we all know all too well. How is it, Andy, that the Denver defense forced 0 turnovers after you forced 5 turnovers onto that fraud Josh Allen?
Yeah, I mean, a part of it I think might have been the weather. I mean, although you would think, depending on how teams play in the weather, you'd be more likely to get a turnover. But we got lucky in that department with Madre jumping on the ball. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like how they were. I mean, still, they barely came out with that game. Forced 5 turnovers against Allen. Like, I think because the weather was better, the defense had more time. The defense had better, had more opportunities to swarm Allen than they did in May. Yeah, I can't really explain it. It was just, Benito was like a non-factor yesterday. I think it was what?
I don't think it was. In my opinion, it was either DJ Jones or the Zach Allen kid, or heck, even I don't know if it was Christian Ellis's brother, Jonah Ellis.
Who what?
Being the factor for that Denver defense in that game.
On the Buffalo game?
No, for the Patriots game. For the Buffalo game, I think it was either PS2 or McMillan.
No, it was definitely McMillan getting the pick. I think it was Zach Allen yesterday. If I'm not mistaken.
Or DJ Jones, I don't know.
DJ Jones, I think, got a sack or 2. May was sacked, 5 times yesterday?
Yeah, 5 times. I think a couple were from Jonathan Cooper, who was
yes. Yep.
Yeah. Never forget that face.
And
not to mention... Go ahead, Thomas.
Was it on the right side that got exposed?
Yeah, I think so. Let me look up who made an impact. I know DJ Jones got a 1.5 sack, 2 tackles for loss. Roach, I've never heard of him. He had 2.5 sack and 2 tackles for loss. Kate Robinson got a sack. Jonathan Cooper obviously got a sack. So, and yes, Zach Allen did get a sack. Not to mention Jonah Ellis being like one of those linebackers, because Jonah Ellis, he made life hell. Drake May did stiff arm Jonah Ellis to get
that was a good on that one run. Yeah, that was a good play by him.
I feel bad for Jonah Ellis in a sense that I watched a clip of both Christian consoling Jonah Ellis, considering that they're like I know they're brothers, but it just sucks that the youngest brother wishing that he had an opportunity to play in a Super Bowl. Sucks to suck, unfortunately.
There you go.
Speaking of Ellis, let's go back to the Patriots defense, because Christian Ellis, man, he had a large ass sack that was 20 yards. I think it was a strip sack. Correct me.
Christian Ellis got the strip sack in the second quarter. That's correct.
And then I did not see Gonzo getting a sack. I'm like, I was looking at the stats. I'm like, how did Gonzo get a sack? I know he got a sack. No, I know he got an interception, but I did not know he got a sack. I know he also got a tackle for loss. Man, Gonzo had. I know, Thomas, you said that you wanted Gonzo to show out, and fortunately, he did show out. After you ranting over like, oh, he didn't show out, or blah blah blah, or he needs to show out, all of that.
Yeah, because the last couple games, the only person who's been shut out over Gonzo is the guy, which again, that Andy fucking roasts a lot, Carlton Davis.
I can't believe we're discussing this.
And I don't forget about that either. So don't even push it.
Oh, Thomas, you never feel. Oh, okay, he did get the sack, and then which then led to the missed field goal in the second quarter. Now I remember that Gonzo sack. Now I remember, because I was like, let me see. I feel like this defense was playing lights out. And not to mention that interception. That was a beautiful interception from Gonzo, Andy. The fact that he recreated that one iconic play, and it was against the Rams, and we all know that interception all too well.
Oh, wait, the one. Wait, what are you talking about? The
Gonzo interception being similar to that interception that we got in Super Bowl 53 against the Rams.
Right. Jason McCourty. Yeah, that was very similar to that Jason McCourty pick.
Not Jason McCourty, Stephon Gilmore.
With Gilmore? Are you kidding?
Yes.
No. Oh, it was Jason McCourty with the pass breakup on the touchdown. So there were two key defensive plays in that Super Bowl. Wow. So, yeah, I mean, and here we were talking about Gonzo having no picks all year, and he gets the game-saving pick yesterday in the snow. Yeah, that kid came to play yesterday. I mean, here we were in the first quarter and a half saying the Denver defense came to play. Vance Joseph had him ready to go. And then, yeah, we say it's like, okay, who came to play but Milton Williams and Christian Barmore? And Milton Williams and Christian Gonzalez. Barmore had a key sack, too. But yeah, I mean, we regularly threw 6-man fronts at Stidham, and he was completely flummoxed. But yeah, I think Gonzo, yeah, that really was kind of reminiscent of that Gilmore pick from Super Bowl 53. A game saver, and then May has the run to get the first down and run the clock out for the win. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I felt like this defense played lights out, and I was scared about Gonzo after that. The first, no, it was the second drive that allowed the Mims Hail Mary, which then led to that Sutton touchdown. I was like, what was Gonzo? What was Gonzo thinking? That was like that was like one of his worst drives. I was like. I was watching like the tape. Obviously, Austin was broadcasting. He was streaming that game, and I was like, "What was Gonzo doing?" Or was it because Hawkins, or was there like a miscommunication between Gonzo and Hawkins? Thomas.
No, it's not. It's not. It's more like a blown coverage. It's on him and on him alone.
Yeah, Gonzo has had quite a bit of blown coverage this season. That was a redemption play at the end of the game.
Yeah, I was a little scared about because normally Gonzo would be that lockdown guy. Because it was some sort of because Jonathan brings up an interesting fact. Was it Hawkins or Gonzo though? That's a question. Because it was a miscommunication between these two. Either it was Gonzo or Hawkins or both. That could be a possibility. But knowing that Gonzo, he did make some crucial plays. There were moments where like he needs to get it together. And then obviously Hawkins, he has been playing lights out, but for some reason that was like one of his icky games, I would say. But I don't know about Hawkins. Like he just this was like I don't know if this was like one of his worst games, Andy. Jalen Hawkins.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah, I didn't really keep track of Jalen Hawkins that much yesterday, but let me do a little quick. Yeah, so he had three. He had 0 sacks. He hasn't really had any. He only had like a second half all year, but 3 combined tackles and no picks and no forced fumbles. So yeah, I mean, when you consider he had the pick against Miami and against the Jets, so it was pretty much equivalent to his game against the Chargers. It was not. Yeah, you're right, Dow. It was not. It was one of it was. It was one of the worst games for Jalen Hawkins on the season.
That was, and like because generally he has been having some decent games, and there were times where he was been looking great, but then there are times where he's looking like a little lost. And speaking of miscommunication, I was a little scared on that defense when I heard that Robert Spillane, who has been usually the play caller for the defense, getting hurt, Thomas. So I was a little scared about it because Jack Gibbons did take over for Spillane, but I was scared of. Oh, I was scared about Spillane, Thomas. Like, I don't know if that will have any impact leading into the Super Bowl.
Well, we have to wait until it's Z. It's 13 days away, so when we get to the injury report, then we'll see.
Yeah, when we get to the injury report. So Jonathan comes.
Was the injury on Spillane? I don't even remember. I remember it happened, but I don't know what it was.
Hold on, if I can find that. Yeah, I don't remember what the injury was.
Ankle injury in AFC title game. So
yeah,
it was an ankle injury. It was an ankle injury. Not surprising.
There's a reason why I would like to have a linebacker in the draft and free agency. So there's a reason why we need to look into getting another linebacker. Not because we have bad linebackers, but I just feel like with Spillane getting up in age, I feel like we need a linebacker. So I think we do need a linebacker.
Linebacker, defensive end, right tackle, tight end.
And maybe left guard. I don't know.
Maybe left guard, maybe center.
Center,
Not center.
I think.
Move Jared Wilson to center.
Yeah, I would keep Bradbury at center. He'd do a decent job.
Have Jonathan throw that comment up again if he could. Hawkins did almost wipe out one of our guys. I forget what number the player was, but he came down looking for a big hit and friendly fire. Good, interesting point. Don't remember that play.
Gonzo, and I know I love Hawkins, but I just feel like if he can get his act together, maybe there's a chance that we do re-sign him to maybe like a 2-year deal. But yeah, there's a possibility that we might want to let Hawkins go and maybe find us another safety. But that is one of the things that I was a little concerned about with blown coverages. Like we brought you back for a reason. Like, yeah, you didn't make enough of a presence last season, and you were supposed to take upon that season this year. And yes, you've done that in most instances, but I feel like Hawkins needs to like get it together. There are moments where he played really well, but there are moments that he has been losing it. But I want to go over something that has been lingering around as of late, and it has to do with the BS from like all these fans, especially the outsider, especially from Chargers, Texans, Broncos fans moving the goalpost. I get the fact that we have the easiest schedule in the league, and I know Thomas will agree on this. But
Yes.
we have been playing against the top 3 defenses.
And have another top 5 coming up in Seattle.
It's not going to be easy.
Nope.
But I would not use the schedule as an excuse when basically, if you look back at the offseason, Andy, when we basically overhaul almost the entire team. When we went into free agency, when we went into the draft, we got rid of all of that. We got almost all of the Belichick players while still retaining a couple. And we basically got rid of these guys, Vrabel bringing in his guys, his coaching staff. We did what we did in the draft based off of the moving pieces within the AFC East. Did not think that we would win the division. I expected the team to make the playoffs, but I didn't expect them to make I didn't expect them to win the division or the Super Bowl or make the Super Bowl.
Nope.
I didn't expect us to host home playoff games, even though Mr. Kraft said that the team knew it all along. And fans are using schedule as an excuse. I get it. We have the easiest schedule, but to use that as an excuse, Andy, what does it say to these outsiders who just go for that gun while we back up the evidence with what we've shown with the 14-3 record with all of that progress?
Yes, and as Mark the Beetle Bertrand said today, it's not going to stop, and I don't doubt that. Because this is the fan bases of all 31 other teams having to COPE. We know how excited they were, so excited that we sucked for 5 years. They are like living in almost an alternate reality. I mean, you saw Seahawks fans posting already. It's like, okay, we're going to easily beat the Patriots. And then this is what made me start saying, okay, yeah. And like, how often have you guys lost betting against Mike Vrabel this year? Like, look at that second Buffalo game. We have Milton Williams. We probably don't lose. Like, instead of, and even Pats fans, like, instead of, we beat these easy teams. It's like, okay, we blew a lot of those easy teams out of the water. The Tennessees, the Carolinas. We didn't blow out Atlanta. We beat them. The Rams lost to both Atlanta and Carolina. The Rams nearly lost to Carolina twice.
And we beat up Carolina.
And what?
And we beat up
Thomas,
Carolina.
what's it?
Oh, they
Exactly.
Yeah, they barely lose to Carolina in the playoffs.
Right. So it's like they barely beat Carolina in the playoffs. So it's like, okay, how freaking close was this team to going 17-0? I mean, like, if it weren't for 5 turnovers against the Steelers, a game against the Raiders, we thought, okay, it's the season opener. Belichick often chucked those out the window. Looked like Vrabel did too. And that stupid second Buffalo game. I mean, Flukes happen. It's football.
It
But
is.
yeah, I mean, this is a desire by those 31 other fan bases for the Pats to still suck. And it's like, I don't understand why. It seems like the only desire for the Chiefs to suck is coming from Pats fans. And I think a lot of that has to do with Mahomes versus Brady, but we're not going down that rat hole right now. Yeah, it's like, and the Seattle fans, I kind of get it because they're still bitter about Super Bowl 49 and what should have been, and I say this as a Pats fan, what should have been a run from Marshawn Lynch in the backfield. But yeah, I mean, this moving the goalpost shit, I mean, it's just not going to stop, and there are just going to be people, even if we win our 7th Super Bowl, there are going to be people calling this Mickey Mouse instead of Cinderella. And it's like you just see it coming, and it's like, okay, a Lombardi trophy is a Lombardi trophy. They are not fucking easy to win.
And it's not easy to get. Like, I will say this again, and I said this on Colby's channel. By the way, Colby will be interviewing our very own Patriots players at Super Bowl with the AFC's roundtable, by the way. But I said this on Colby's channel. You have every division rivals fan base saying like, "Oh, nobody wants to see the Patriots making the Super Bowl," or "We have a Mickey Mouse run." This is what I am frustrated with, and what I'm so annoyed with and disgusted, and why I never had trust in them. Let's start with the New York Jets. They had a short period of time to win a Super Bowl and win the division with Aaron Rodgers.
They thought they were going to be the hottest shit in the league with Rodgers at quarterback, and I was like, come on, Jets fans. No, you're not going anywhere.
Guess what happened in that season? Rodgers ruptured his Achilles.
Yep.
Stuck with Zach Wilson. Had a zero backup plan with quarterback. And then the next season when Rodgers was healthy, guess what happened? Your owner being a dumbass for firing your coach after the 5th game of the season. That's what happens when you have a dumbass owner who, by the way, can go cry himself and give these hugs to Aaron Glenn, which I think that is the gayest move. Don't quote me on that. Then we get to the Dolphins. You had a division lead. You had the number 1 seed in that division, in the conference. You could not get it done by beating the 5 teams above 500, except for the Cowboys. You didn't sweep the Bills. You got swept by the Bills. You didn't beat the Eagles. You didn't beat the Chiefs. You got your asses kicked by the Ravens. Hell, not to even mention, you lost to Mike Vrabel's Titans led by Will Levis. And then that Cinderella story where you couldn't win in the cold at Arrowhead Stadium. That's your problem with the Dolphins.
Wait, what?
2023.
Oh, in 2023. Okay.
And then with Tua Tagovailoa, turn the ball over, as I like to call him. You have 2 seasons to get it done, failed to do so, and now you're back in the coaching carousel. Mm-hmm. Now on to the Buffalo Bills. You had 6 opportunities after you won the division. You had 7 tries to make a run for the Super Bowl. You got stopped by the Chiefs and 1 season with Joe Burrow. That season, this current season, you had an opportunity to win the division. No, we stole your moment. We took the division away from you. What's even more embarrassing is that there was no Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson.
So it's like, okay, no Mahomes, no Jackson, no Burrow. Okay, the AFC is now the Bills to lose. And what do? They beat Jacksonville, and then they lose to the Broncos on the luckiest pick in the playoffs. I mean, I mean, to say the damn Bills, you know, if that's not pulled out of Brandon Cook's hands by
Melon.
Rashawn by
Jaquan
McMillan, who's Jaquan McMillan, exactly. You know, we're talking about the Bills probably going to the Super Bowl, to be honest. I mean, you know, but
And
yeah,
look what happened. Your owner fired your head coach and then revealed something that it was
right.
not.
Instead, the Bills are now a laughing stock again. Yep, carry on.
And you know what's funny? Your owner, Terry Pagula, announced that the coaching staff wanted to draft Keon Coleman, who they thought Keon Coleman would be the next Stephon Diggs. No, he's not. He is not the next Stephon Diggs. I don't
Not
get
even
it.
close.
And guess what? And I agree with this statement from Jonathan. 2025 Patriots are in the running for the greatest season of clock management in NFL history.
Yep.
I agree with that. Mike Vrabel, and you know what he did? Drake, I love this. We didn't talk about that play. This play. Drake May sliding with 1 second left, and Vrabel right there to call timeout. Hendo breaking one against the Bucs and checking with the sideline before scoring. Or Mondre sliding in bounds with a big conversion. Incredible from Mr. Vrabel. From Mr. Vrabel.
And also about Mike Vrabel, I believe he is the first coach ever to coach the team, to coach a team that he won with all the way to the Super Bowl, if you catch my drift.
If he wins the Super Bowl. That's only if he wins the Super Bowl.
No, he's the first team, the first player rather to have played a team and coached that team to the Super Bowl. Yes.
Yep, that's what I meant to say. All right.
Yep.
Okay, because I'm not going to Google it because it would have been a waste of time. By the way, Eric is back. Maybe we can ask him some questions about like what Colorado environment is like, what the West Coast is like compared to the Eastern Side Coast, because we obviously know the Eastern Side Coast, but going back to Colorado, Erica, what is the environment usually like in the west of Colorado that teams may not know
of? So Colorado's very dry. We're a high elevation desert.
Yes,
as we like to call it.
Been there, done that. Yep, I adore Colorado. I gotta say, I have to sing the praises of your state. I mean, showing like the Front Range there from Denver yesterday out over the mountains, and I mean Denver, it's amazing. Like you fly into that Denver airport and you think you're in a gigantic city. You drive an hour either north or east or west, and you're in the country.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like where Denver's situated, it's like the very last portion of the plains before you hit the mountains. So if you look to the east, it's flat. You can see miles and miles and miles, similar to where I'm at in Colorado Springs. Then you look to the west, and then there's these gigantic mountains. It's pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, it's really like your state. It's like you go from Fort Collins all the way down to Denver, Colorado Springs, Pueblo, in the New Mexico state line. You got desert to the east and mountains to the west, and that's it.
Yep, that's a good way to describe Colorado right there.
Yep.
Yeah, as a guy has never been to Colorado, and all I know about Colorado are basically sports teams. That's all I can say.
That's
like,
fine. That's fine, Dow. And that's all. That's all. Probably most people. That's all. Probably most people from Mass know about Colorado.
Yeah, the sports teams and where you go for the X Games and all the snowboarding, skiing stuff.
Oh, the ski. Yep, your Vales and your Steamboat Springs and your Aspens and.
Yep.
Also, I want to quickly cover a couple things before we get to our winners and losers. So I looked at a couple of like stats. So like we got something from ESPN Insights against the Patriots. Obviously, Thomas mentioned that they only allowed 26 points.
26 or fewer points here. The only team that's with us at that point is the 2000 Baltimore Ravens.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was also going to say, going up against quarterbacks with passing 10 plus yards downfield, you may want to hear these stats, and this is what I still don't get. Justin Herbert completed 1 out of 8, 20 yards only one time. CJ Stroud collectively for 4 out of 13 for 61 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jarrett Stidham, 1 out of 6, 52 yards, that pass to Mims. I still won't forgive that play. And an INT. Basically,
was that touchdown by CJ Stroud to Marcus Jones?
I think so. I still don't forget these plays. I still don't. But the fact
what? I'm sorry, Eric. What was your question?
I said, was that touchdown pass by CJ Stroud to Marcus Jones? I think that one went over your heads.
The pick six?
Yes.
Was Marcus Jones, correct?
Yes.
That interception was from Marcus Jones. And then that other touchdown that CJ Stroud got, it was to Christian Kirk, but it was covered by Marcus Jones.
No, I was just making fun of CJ Stroud's pick six. I was saying with those yards, to Marcus Jones.
Yeah, I asked it was the pick six, and it's like, you throw a touchdown to Marcus Jones, he ran it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a football joke I've heard before. It's like, Mac throws touchdown to the Honey Badger, in that Saints game. Ugh, gross. Let's not talk about that. That was not true.
But that was a great play by Milton Williams, which then great pressure from Caleb Chase on for that Marcus Jones interception. Yeah. Also, not to mention, and I know Thomas is gonna love hearing this. Lowest passer rating allowed in coverage this postseason per Next Gen Stats, minimum 10 targets. Carlton Davis III had a passer rating allowed of a 21.4. Christian Gonzalez had a 39.0. A QB would have a 39.6 passer rating if he threw every pass into the stands. I know Thomas really loves to hear these stats because I know he's been gawking about Carlton Davis of how great he is and how much improvement that Carlton Davis has made after I read all these stats, Thomas.
Yes, and I said this last week too. The Carlton Davis lender must fucking stop. It's just ridiculous.
Those missed field goals were because of Carlton Davis, by the way.
Impressive. And also pressure leaders from the 33rd team. Caleb Chason had 18 pressures this postseason. Milton Williams with 17. That's impressive. What else? Yes, he's number 1 in pressures. He's number 1. Milton Williams is 28th in pass. 28 percentage of a pass rush win rate. That's first. Impressive. And it's even more funny that I can't wait to shit talk the Jets for. How about that Leonard Taylor block kick, though? Not bad for a Jets cast off on our practice squad. How does that feel, Eric, to see a former Jet basically making a play who was on the practice squad to block that kick?
I actually found out some information today through a Denver sports thing that I watched. The field goal kicker where we blocked it, they were a yard short. The place kicker or the holder lined up a yard short. So normally a field goal's kicked at 8 yards out. They were 7 yards out. And they blamed the snow because they couldn't see the hash mark. So that goes back to Vrabel having our guys, not making any mistakes. That 1 yard was probably the cause of the block field goal right there. So
Yeah, that was actually something I heard about on the radio earlier today. It's like there were quite a few special teams mistakes by both teams yesterday, but the Broncos, it's like, yeah, your your punter, not really your punter,
Kicker Will Lutz.
it's your kicker. Yeah, it's like all you have to do, it's like you don't have to worry about, contact and running and whatnot. All you have to do is line up and get set to kick the flipping ball, and you're off by a yard.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God, Jonathan, what? You don't ever say this. Don't ever say this.
Snowgate, I love it.
they're going to be calling it that out there too.
Oh yeah,
So
for sure.
So we got Spygate, which I think it was stupid. The Flakegate, that's dumb. We got obviously Spygate 2. This alleged Clapgate would never exist. That's basically a pussy move from the Falcons. And now potentially a Snowgate.
Don't forget Foggate, the rematch between the Falcons at Gillette Stadium after the Super Bowl. Super foggy just came in. They were blaming us for that. Wild.
That's beyond belief, but I think that we can get to the oh yeah, Foggate. I never heard of Foggate, but I only know Deflategate, Spygate, Clapgate, Spygate 2.0, and then obviously potentially Snowgate, because yeah, I was like, why didn't Denver blow the snow so we can see the yard marks? I did not get it, Eric.
I didn't get that either.
Weird.
And by the way, I've never heard of Foggate either, Eric, but I do remember that game after it was the 2018 season. Yeah. So
Yeah,
2017 season, we played them after 51. I don't remember that game being foggy at all.
I can't remember. My dates might be off. I just remember they were complaining about it, and then the rumor mill was we had fog machines and all that because it just came in out of nowhere. But as far as the snow goes, it was really weird because where the players were, they didn't blow the snow away from the lines. They started at both end zones and worked their way out as much as they could during the timeout breaks. But where the players actually were, they weren't blowing the snow off the line. So it was super weird. I didn't get it.
Oh, here we go. Conspiracy theorists think Patriots were behind the heavy fog during game against the Falcons, October 23rd, 2017.
There it is.
Yeah, but while you were gone, Eric, we were discussing about a couple of things, but what are your thoughts before we get to the winners and losers? What were your thoughts on outsider fans, from opposing fan bases, making these same excuses for our easy schedule or cupcake schedule, and then moving the goalposts of being you're gonna get our asses kicked by this great defense only for a shitty quarterback to play like shit?
I mean, I don't really pay much of attention to that. I know I've been alive for the greatest 20 years of the Patriots dynasty. We're saying we're back because we're going to the Super Bowl. It's really just again, you know what I mean? And they don't want to witness this all over again. So we're going to get the hate. It's just what we are. When you start winning, when you're as successful as our franchise is, people are going to move the goalpost however they can. And there's a saying that I always say is if you dig deep enough, you can find some stat that will be against us. Same thing when you're supporting us. You can dig deep enough to sway the narrative for us. So that's all it's going to be. It's just fans that they wish they were in our seats, really. If I was a Buffalo fan, I wish I would have been a Patriot fan, I want this success, but because they aren't having the success, they have to find a way to drag us down. And personally, this team loves that. They feed off of it, so keep it coming.
That is true, and it's just hard for some of like the young folks because they never got to experience what it's like to win the division, and they're like young, they're like 6 years old. Probably it is probably new for them, but that is a great question, John. I don't know. Probably that comment made from Sean Payton. I think it backfired big time, and not to mention Kayshon Boutte fired back, and yeah, that happened.
Like when Surtain said, "Oh yeah, who's Booty?" and he fired right back.
The Broncos players, man, I tell you, they felt confident going into this game. Like they felt they could win this game no matter what the conditions or whatnot. But I tell you what, one thing Vrabel's really. Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead.
No worries, you're good. I got to log out because I got an early morning, so I did put my winners and losers in the chat, just to FYI. So yeah, before I bow out, I just want to say this: Denver, they remembered Belichick and Brady going there and losing 3 times. Mm-hmm. They remember the rough loss in the regular season against Brock Osweiler. That is a team that is still, like I said earlier in this chat, these 31 other fan bases are still looking at the Patriots and hoping we suck. I mean, they reveled in the fact we sucked for 5 years. So they're, to the point where even the Jets are better than the Pats. Well, yeah, at least one of those seasons they were. But yeah, these Denver, even more so than the fan base, those players, and it's like I said, Surtain's out there saying, who's Kayshon Boutte? They thought they had us by the balls. And it's like when you see players, not so much coaches, but players out there, it's like, do these people know who Mike Vrabel is? Mm-hmm. No, they don't. No, they do not. And it's like that man, I swear that man has looked like the most prepared coach in NFL history this year. I mean, I wanted him. But still, I was like, okay, 9 wins. Maybe we'll get into the playoffs through the back door. Division, no. I have a buddy at work say, oh, Andy, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Fuck yeah, we are. No, we're not. I'll still believe it when I see it. We're going there now. I'll believe it when I see it. But hey, here we are.
Yep. Vrabel prepares his guys probably better than any other head coach in the NFL, and now he has 2 weeks to do it.
Yep, and back when he was, I think it was like either 20 or 21, when he was frequently talked about as it was the 4 best coaches in the NFL, and it was pretty much a consensus, were Vrabel, Harbaugh, Belichick, and Reed. And that was,
Yeah, Jonathan, I agree with this comment.
They must realize that we are not led by a senile head coach who also sucks as a... Yes, so true.
And that's what I told Bronco fans. I'm like, this is not Belichick and Brady. This is a completely new team with a completely new culture. Like, you're not... If you're going to come in here, talk all the crap about our players and all that, trust me, this coaching staff and these players are going to make sure that you leave with your heads down.
I mean, seriously, give me the coach. Give me the freaking coach who made lemonade out of lemons with Ryan Tannehill. I mean, who took Ryan Tannehill to a championship game. I mean, it's like how are you still, like I said before this season, there are people out there, the last team these people are going to want to see land Mike Vrabel as the Patriots, and they are coping now by moving the goalposts.
Yep.
Exactly. Speaking of Mike Vrabel, I still remember when he ran circles over that senile head coach who also sucks as a GM. I still remember that.
He had Belichick. He played Belichick like a fiddle in that wild card game.
And what's funny is earlier that season, Belichick did the same exact thing to the Jets.
Wait,
That
what?
oh yeah,
Yep.
the
That's
Sam
how
Darnold
Vrabel knew about the
ghost.
loophole. That's how Vrabel knew about the loophole. The Belichick did the same thing with the whole punt thing and taking a penalty to
Where
the
Sam
Jets.
Darnold was seeing ghosts. It was week 7. I remember. I know that game.
Yep.
That was the funniest game.
Looking back on it now, I die laughing because when Belichick did it, I was laughing at the Jets. When Vrabel did it to us, I was upset. But now seeing, like, after everything with Bill happened, I just can't help but laugh. It's like, man, Vrabel made you eat your own medicine. That's hilarious.
Right. I mean, and it's like it's the like where you like Belichick permanently lost me in 2022.
He
And
did big time.
I was just like, okay, I know hiring Patricia and Judge okay, we're not going to go okay. Patricia and
Oh,
Judge lost me at the Chicago game. We're ending right here. And I have to log off because I got an early morning. Do you see my winners and losers? I got my
yes, your winners loser.
winners and losers in the comment section down.
I do see it. We will continue discussion, and I'll send you the DMs of like what we discussed.
Sweet. All right.
Good luck. Good luck.
Have a
at
good
Have a
one,
nice
Andy.
night. Thank you, Eric. Thanks for popping on, buddy.
Vrabel said he is a genius and also a pretty spy on the sideline, and Vrabel could probably still play if he wanted to. Yeah, 100%. Like he's meant to be a Patriot. There is a reason why that sham interview with the Jets meant nothing, just so that Robert Kraft can fire Gerard Mayo, only for him to, we all know that.
Hey, if we need a one touchdown pass from a tight end in the Super Bowl, let's get Vrabel out there.
Yeah, I was unfortunately like a baby during. I think I was dead. No, either I was not even a thing, or I was a baby when Mike Vrabel did all of that. So it sucks, but not to mention that we will get to all of that in a future episode. But let's get to our winners and losers, and I'll start reading Andy's winners and losers, or as we like to call them, Musket Men as far as we all know, and that's our favorite. So Andy said that his winner on defense is Milton Williams. Makes sense. Winner on offense, Drake May on the ground. His loser, none. Loser on offense, Hunter Henry. Okay, Thomas, you give your winners and losers and why you disagree on some of the things. I'll let you take your piece. And you're muted.
I know that. Let me get off my Ross and get to this. My winner on offense, this may shock you. Will Campbell and the left side of the line. Because they protect it. Because last week we slander the living fuck out of Campbell and on the left side of the line. How exposed they were against the Houston defense. Coming to this game against Denver, I don't know what to expect for this. But Will Campbell just hold his own. I think he did a good job holding off some of the key blockers on the defense. So I think right now, I think he just literally come back from his expectations, and the reason why he should stay as a left tackle, which I think he should stay as a left tackle in my opinion, which we need a left guard at this point. So the left side of the line is my winners for this one. My loser on offense, however, is not Hunter Henry, because I don't think he has done relevant enough here. My loser on offense is Keyshawn Boutte, who had to keep dropping balls at this game, which I hate to see that. You only have one catch for 6 yards, which inexcusable in a game that is like, it's snowed, it's a high altitude, it's in Denver. There's no excuse you cannot catch balls. My winner on I forgot. My musket man on defense is Christian Gonzalez. With those tackles, that sack, the tackle for loss, the pass deflection, and also that interception, which seals the game. So good for him. And I was gonna go with Carlton Davis because of those tackles he made. So that's generic. My loser, my misfire on defense. There's a name, Jelani Tavai, who has done nothing for this defense. But there's an additional one here, a musketman on the special teams, Brandon Schooler, because those two tackles.
Interesting selections, Thomas. How about you, Eric?
Well, the Schooler one, I gotta mention, a Bronco fan asked me who he was because he didn't know, so that just proves Thomas's musketman there. For me, I don't really have player losers. I'll start with the losers here. Offensively, it's gotta be Josh McDaniels as my loser. 20 passing yards in the first half is unacceptable. I don't put any of the blame on the players. I felt this offensive scheme was too conservative, despite the Broncos defense being, what they are. So I can't give any loser to a player. But Josh McDaniels definitely needs to take the blame on this one. My winner, I got to go with Drake May. Despite throwing for less than 100 yards, he really won this game with his legs. Big first down conversions to keep drives going. That first down to seal the game there towards the end. I'll give him the winner for this one. On defense, boy, I'm not really sure. Looking at the defense, we just played out of our minds. So I got to give musket men to the whole defense. Zach Kerr deserves all the credit for these schemes. The players deserve all the credit because not one player, I can't single out one player on defense. It's a unit. This whole defense is playing as a unit. And I just feel like they're playing out of their minds. So I'll give the whole entire defense props and no negatives towards the defense.
Anything else for special teams or just Brandon Schooler?
Yeah, I'll give it to Schooler. I mean, actually I can give a loser to Bryce Behringer. Those horrible punts. I know there was weather and stuff, but come on, man, we gotta be better with these punts. I think we were his average was less than 40 yards this game. So unacceptable. He's got to be better because I know he can boot it.
Yeah. Well, here goes my musket men and misfires. Starting on offense, I will go with. I gotta go. There was barely anything. Well, there were some positive runs, but God. I'm actually gonna give Mac Hollins the winner in a sense that he made that crucial catch with that flea flicker, and he came back from an abdomen injury that he suffered in week 16, I believe, against the Baltimore Ravens. So he was out obviously for the Jets, Dolphins, and then the 2 playoff games. So it's nice to see Mac Hollins being back and be at least a presence. Everybody's gonna say he was basically a liability after when he said he didn't back it up with his quote from the Warriors. But yeah, I felt like Mac Hollins, I know that he is getting old, but at least he's being a reliable weapon for us when he mattered the most. My loser, I understand Josh McDaniels being conservative. I'm actually going to go with Trevion Henderson again. I don't know why, but Trevion Henderson barely used or basically barely made any splash plays when it mattered the most. I get it it was against the Colts, but what did he do last week against the Texans? What about against the Chargers? Barely used or barely made a splash on the ground, nor used in the passing game. This is where Josh McDaniels is at its fault. We're not utilizing Travion Henderson in the playoffs. I don't get it. I love Stevenson, but it can't be just Stevenson. You have a double-headed monster at running back for a reason, and you're not utilizing Travion Henderson. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And Jonathan brings up a really good point. Josh McDaniels has to stop using Hendo up the middle for negative yards. I don't get the HB dives. And I've been playing on man. I know what an HB dive is. And that is completely unacceptable from Josh McDaniels. Like, are we this allergic to running outside? That's what I'm confused with. That's what I'm basically confused with. Well,
yeah, that is what Henderson's meant to do. Just run outside hook to the left, run hook outside to the right. That's what he meant to do in college when he won the national title with Ohio State.
We're using him completely wrong. Jonathan nailed it. He is not a every down power back. You need to use him like James White or Shane Vereen. Get him lined up. Get him onto the outside. Use the wheel routes. He's a speed back. Use his speed to his advantage.
Yeah, and also he made another interesting point. He said Antonio Gibson could have probably been doing those HB dives, like not Hendo. Like Henderson is not Damian Harris, as we all know. He's not. And
But
I would go ahead, Thomas.
He's an outside back. Like I said, he runs on the outside of the left, run outside the right. That's what he did in college football. Like, what did they do that in these playoff games? No. He literally goes through the gut. Like, I'm sorry. That's what Stevenson would do. That what Gibson would do. Not Henderson. We literally use Henderson wrong. Where was the Trayvon Henderson when we played the Bucks? Where's the Henderson we played the damn Jets? Where was the Henderson when he ran another 100 yards or so?
Yeah, you get him in the toss plays, get him in the stretch plays, screen passes, wheel routes. That's where he's going to make his money. This whole power back it's just hurting him. We need to use his speed. That's what Stevenson is for. If we need those tough yards, put Stevenson in. If we need a big like stretch the field kind of play, get Hendo in.
Or even worse, I'm gonna hate to say this, and it's not a good option, but use Dearness Johnson in some of these moments. I don't know why, but I understand that Dearness Johnson, he's not like what he was when he was in Cleveland or Jacksonville, but it is what it is. But let's get over it with the defense. Defense, yeah, I feel like Gonzo is my winner because yes, I understand that that play was blown up, but I felt like that he at least bounced back when it come to the necessary pass breakups and that interception when it mattered the most. It felt like Stephon Gilmore all over again. My loser. You mentioned Tavai, Thomas. I'm actually gonna go a level deeper. I'm actually gonna go Jalen Hawkins. The miscommunication on the second drive, that was laughable. And not to mention, if I can find a quote from from John right there. Where is that comment that you said? You mentioned there it is. 12-30 minutes on NFL highlight. Stidham took off scrambling. Chason was chasing him down, and Hawkins came down and almost blew up Chason when Stidham slid. Like, completely unacceptable. I'm like, you've been playing well throughout the regular season, and I don't know what's happening with you in the playoffs. I get it. This is like your playoffs debut because you never made the playoffs with the Falcons nor with the Chargers. But come on, man. You know better than that. You know better than that. And then special teams. I want to say for my winner, on special teams, yes, I love Brandon Schooler. I agree. Brandon Schooler is my one of my winners. My winner is actually Leonard Taylor when he made that crucial tip off to prevent Will Lutz from even getting that field goal. And somebody mentioned in the Discord chat that Will Lutz sucks when kicking in the wins. And fortunately, that came into play when basically we took when Jeremy Springer dialed up some of these plays and we took advantage of those defense and we took advantage of the special teams. My loser, yeah, it's Bryce Baringer. Like, you can't be making those puns and then prevent us from and be putting us at a disadvantage. Like, what would have happened if Denver were to score on some of these plays? Like, dude, he would basically scare all of us to death. That was basically what I feared. If Bryce Baringer, if he punted, like, we were back in the 8-yard line or the 4-yard line, and he punted it to our very own 45-yard line, we were this close to getting scored on. Thankfully, we got that lucky.
Yeah, sorry, Dow. I was just going to say, Behringer has, like, this is the first game where he's had multiple shanks, but usually he has one a game. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's mental with him or what, but it seems like at least once every maybe 1 or 2 games, he just shanks one. But unfortunately, this was not the game to be shanking every single punt. We just got lucky. Our defense bailed us out for sure.
Oh, they did bail us out. And not to even mention, the other punter looked better than us. Like, he pinned us at the 8 at each drive. No matter wherever the Broncos offense is, he pinned us at the 8 and put us at a disadvantage. That's how bad.
He was crushing it. He was hitting the coffin corner pretty good all game long.
It was that bad, but
I just got one more thing now. One more thing. To Thomas's point, Campbell being his winner. What I noticed, right, is he's learning. The Denver Broncos tried lining up guys out wide to get space from him so they can, get that pass rush going. He was attacking them all game long. He was not allowing them to get as much space. So he's starting to learn that in the NFL, you cannot allow these guys to get a full head of steam before you get your first contact. So I love seeing that from him.
Yeah, that was really impressive. And I know that Campbell really bounced. That was a must-needed bounce-back performance from Campbell after that. Unfortunately, his 2 performances against Owe, Mack, Anderson Jr. after he got trucked, this was necessary. Now he's going up against, I believe it's either Nwosu or DeMarcus Lawrence or Leonard Williams. The same guy who pick-sixed Aaron Rodgers last season. But
I think Vrabel will have him ready for that.
Perfect. But as we come to the very end of the MayeFlower Voyage, Thomas, and I know Austin and Andy are not here to witness this, but as we come to the end, Thomas, what are you hoping for as we head into the final boss, which are the Mike McDonald-led Seattle Seahawks?
What do you think? What do you think I'm going to say at this point? Just play good football, honestly. Again, the Seattle defense, no fucking joke. I just want to see the offense play better, play what they did in the regular season, like what they did in these couple games. But mainly, the defense need to show up also because we're going against Jackson Smith-Njigba again. But again, clear-cut candidate to be Offensive Player of the Year at this point with the way he's been playing. The running backs, I don't know if Charbonnet is going to be active or not. If not,
he's out. He's officially out. He's out for this.
Thank you. The running game, I'm still worried about the run game, even though there's unknowns. Sam fucking Darnold here. Again. This dude cannot be slept at. we all people thought we're gonna say we're gonna see this Sam Darnold sucks. Sam Darnold's not even good because he played for the Jets, because he played for the freaking Panthers, he played for the Niners. Like, dude, this team is the right fit for Darnold all on it. It's a West Coast team, and the West Coast offense who can operate well here. They got some weapons, including Jackson Smith-Njigba, and most important, and some other guys who can literally get the football to. So yeah, Darnold, he needs to be stopped. He needs to be stopped at this point. When it comes to our defense, we have to pressure him here, and also either Gonzo or Marcus Jones need to guard on Jackson Smith-Njigba to try to prevent him to make big plays. Like, if we do all that, then it's going to be a key to success here for the Super Bowl.
How about you, Eric?
I don't want to fall into the trap that the Broncos fell into with us. All right. Sam Darnold's not, I'm seeing ghost Sam Darnold anymore. All right. So we can't rely on that. I want to see Gonzo and man coverage on JSN the whole game. I don't care if we run zones, Gonzo's and man on JSN. Take him out of the game as much as possible. Force these guys to have to run the ball. Let our D-line do their thing against Kenneth Walker. Take JSN out of the game. We have a shot. It's literally that simple. I don't fear Cooper Kupp. I don't fear the other receivers. It's just JSN and Kenneth Walker running the ball.
Yeah, I also don't fear their tight end AJ Barner either. I don't fear him or Saubert.
It's literally JSN.
Also,
JSN is their offense and their rush is their offense.
Also, I don't fear their offensive line. They got Gray Zabel, the guy that I want in the draft. They got Charlie Cross, who basically got his extension. He's their left tackle for the Seahawks. I don't fear their offensive line. Do you know what I want to say that the Patriots should stop doing? And Jonathan said it himself. Less screen passes and HB dives while still having a stable offensive line. Agreed. You're going up against one of the best coverage defense. Not like one of your pass rushing defense like we've seen in the past. We're going up against one of the best coverage defenses. Like, They got Emanwari, they got Witherspoon, they got Love, they got Woolen, who, by the way, nearly cost them the game after that taunting penalty. I would love to see Drake May taking advantage of throwing the ball deep to Williams or Hollins. Don't just rely on Kayshon Boutte. Also use Diggs in some of the areas when they're open. Make sure that Henderson could be used in the passing game. Like, what I want mainly is for Josh McDaniels to open up the damn playbook. That's what we all want as Patriots fans. No of this, what we did with Tom Brady with like these screen passes, HB dives. Because this we've been doing for so long, it's getting annoying. It's 2026. We're not like what we did 20 years ago. I'm sorry.
I want this game to turn into what we've been playing the last 3 games. The Seahawks haven't been in very many games like that. And if we can turn this game into a really crappy Super Bowl 53 game, I have a really good I have a good feeling that we can pull it out. But if we have to rely on our offense to score 30-plus points to beat these guys, it's just not going to happen. We're going to need a boring defensive game to get this win.
Agreed. We do not. I don't care if it's a shitty game as long as the defense doesn't screw it up. Because here's the thing with Sam Darnold. They have a proven offensive coordinator in Clint Kubiak, who is definitely like his father, Gary Kubiak, who is obviously known for that West Coast offense. Clint Kubiak is in the run for getting a head coaching job somewhere. I don't know where exactly, but Clint Kubiak, you cannot mess with him because he's one of the best offensive coordinators in the league. And he is essential for for reviving Sam Darnold. Because we all know we went up against an Adam Gase coach, Sam Darnold, or Matt Rule coach, or Joe Brady coach, Sam Darnold. We're going up against a Clint Kubiak coach, Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but speaking of Clint Kubiak, the only 4 coaching jobs left: Raiders, Cardinals, Browns, and the Bills.
I think the reasonable would either be Arizona. No, I think it has to be Las Vegas. Or either Arizona or Las Vegas, because nobody wants to go to Cleveland because of, I believe it's because of Shedeur Sanders. I don't know. Buffalo is difficult because after what the owner said, it's completely difficult. I just don't get it. But that's for another discussion. But that's going to be it for today's AFC Championship edition of the Patriots MayeFlower Voyage. We are heading towards the very end of the journey, ladies and gentlemen, as we head to Santa Clara at Candlestick Park to go up against the final boss on our schedule, the NFC champions, the Seattle Seahawks. And no, Jonathan, we have never hosted a Super Bowl at Gillette. I wish we do, but I know that the tickets will be goddamn expensive. That's all I know. But what I do know is the final boss is upon us. We worked so hard. We missed of all of the cupcake schedule, all of these talks about having the cupcake schedule. It's going to be a brutal one. But what I do know is that we got 2 weeks to prepare. We got 2 weeks to rest up. We got 2 weeks to focus on the opponent. We are 1 win away from hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. And let's not be one of those fan bases who talk massive shit. We do not want to be that culprit.
No.
And please, and yes, I hope that none of these players gets left in Denver due to partying too hard and missing the Super Bowl. Mike Vrabel said he wasn't playing around. Yes, no curfew, but you gotta be at the bus by 8 a.m. And I think, based off the reports, I don't think that it would be that bad. Yeah, Seattle has been talking shit for both teams, to be honest. Yeah, that is true. But that's going to be it as we head into the final stretch of the season, of the run of the Patriots MayeFlower Voyage. It was one of those impressive MayeFlower Voyages, in my opinion. It would be nice to end off the journey on a win. It would be nice. But as you leave the stream, please make sure that you leave a like on this stream and that you are subscribed to this channel. Is the best way to help us support the channel massively. You can do so further by joining this Discord server by scanning this QR code on the top right corner. You can also share this with your friends, turn on the bell notifications, and leave a comment down below your winners and losers from that game. And to also mention what are your thoughts from that game itself. Whether you are watching the game from your television or were you at the game, please let me know in the comment section below. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, let's go Pats.
Let's go Pats.